YouTube, what the crap's going on? HeirofCarthage back, and I've got something fun for you. This is going to be a huge battle. Looks like they've turned on large army settings, potentially here. This is going to be Reptile King and Appius, both repping Lizardmen here, and they're coming up against Skaven and Tomb Kings, who I was told, yeah, they're going to try some defensive geometry, otherwise known as the noob box. Let's check out what all they brought. There's a whole bunch of rats here on the flanks. We got Skaven Slave Spears and some Storm Vermin. Quite a few Storm Vermin, actually, hidden out there. And it's going to be just more Spearmen here on this flank. In the middle, there's some Skaven Rat Ogres, a Hell Pit Abomination, Skrull, Plague Priest on the Plague Furnace. And then there's a Warp Lightning Cannon and some more Ogres. The Tomb Kings just have a crap load of Skeleton Spears. Looks like a Bone Giant and Archon. But yeah, it's just a huge, massive Skeleton Spears and Skeleton Archers. So this ought to be kind of interesting, whereas you have a more varied army of Beastmen. Like we got this front line here of Saurus Warriors, back line of Skink Javelin cohorts. We've got some Chameleons, or Skink Skirmishers. Kroq Gar, Saurus Scar Veteran, Bastillodon with Solar Engine, Revivification Crystal. Over here we got Mazdamundi and Kroq Gar, Skink Priest, Lore of Beasts, Bastillodon, Chameleon Skinks. Looks like there is a Scorpion making a runaway there. So this is a huge Skink army, actually, from the player going as Mazdamundi here. And then there's two Feral Carnosaurs on the flank. They'll want to steer clear of all these Skaven Spears. It's like the net coming in here. Mazdamundi won't do a ton because those guys are pretty much sitting still anyway. I guess it could keep them from countercharging, but there's Ruination of Cities. And that alone is going to do some pretty nice damage to a couple of units. So Mazdamundi's actually, yes, this is what I was thinking. Mazdamundi's actually kind of right in his element if you have a defensive geometry and you brought the right spells to fight against it. See this Banishment, which actually starts to come out towards the Lizardmen's own lines. Maybe would have been better placed a little further back. But still, Mazdamundi will have already racked up some pretty serious kills. He's already got 130. The Skinks are definitely not faring perfect against all these Storm Vermin. A Warp Lightning Cannon, check it out. Here's a Purple Sun. That would have come from Archon. So the Purple Sun did some damage back here to these Skinks. Let's check that out. So not a ton of kills, though, so it wasn't going to be super effective. The Scar Veteran over here, and then Kroq Gar has just plowed his way into all these archers. So this is just going to end up being the attempt of a defensive geometry to survive an onslaught, which I think you all have seen many, many times throughout the history of Total War. In older Total War games, it was probably a little more possible. That was a nice Hand of the Gods there by Kroq Gar, and he is going to put a massive beating down on this. Look at that Bone Giant just sitting there taking shots. There's still a Hell Pit Abomination. Is it going after the Revivification Crystal? I think it is. The Bone Giant's taking shots in the butt, though, from the Solar Engines. So, a lot of fighting going on here. There's going to be a lot of healing for the Tomb Kings. But at the same time, Skeleton Spears are going to be causing next to no damage in melee against this kind of thing. So Kroq Gar and his Scar Veteran. Kroq Gar is definitely taking a beating. He's got a Hell Pit Abomination all over him now. He is not in a good place. He's overextended. Really kind of needs to get out of there. I'm trying to figure out where Mazdamundi's gone off to. I don't know how I can't spot him. He's enormous. Here he is. Kroq Gar will survive. There comes another Ruination of Cities, and that one was actually really good. 351 kills now. It took out huge swaths of spears and skeletons. Yeah, so Kroq Gar's regrouped back here. There's also the Plague Priest that's regrouped. Kroq Gar could get an easy kill on it if he notices that it's free. But he's getting shot up. He's also being healed at the same time, the Cold-Blooded, so they must have realized something on him there. See over here on the flanks, just rats being cleaned up. There's another Banishment in the middle of all of this mess. And then also the Skink Priest, going to make himself very useful here and use some Doom Flock on a big blob of enemy units. So nice ways to start really pulling down the hit points. Archon's using Soul Blight, though. Kroq Gar healed a lot, but he's also just kind of stayed under fire back here for a minute. The Scar Veteran's still very much alive. And the Bastillodons have just been firing away. The Bone Giant's almost dead. You see the Bastillodons have done a decent bit of damage. And then the Javelin cohorts and stuff on the flanks need to be reactivated. There's obviously a lot of units, and some of the players just aren't able to keep track of all the units here. Just get a look up close. I really showed you this replay because there's going to be some people like, Air, this isn't a high-level replay. I know, not every replay I show is for high-level gameplay. This one is just cool because it's a ton of units. And I would encourage people to go out and play some 2v2s. These battles where you get a ton of units and maybe they don't have like the highest level of micro, they're still ridiculously fun because people will try crazy strategies like this noob box or like the big skink army that came with Mazdamundi, right? It's just fun. This is a way to actually just go enjoy the game, and I would highly recommend it. Look at that, 465 kills now on Mazdamundi. So yeah, get out, play those 2v2s, try the matchups, play on large settings. It's just another way to enjoy the game. To me, that's one of the things that I like most about Warhammer is you can play it somewhat competitively, and it's fun. And you can play it for fun with your friends, and guess what? It's still fun. Oh man, how bad do you think it tastes to be a feral connoisseur taking a bite out of this thing? That's got to taste like just a big giant elephant dump. Actually, probably a lot worse. Elephants only eat like vegetation, so yeah. Like if an elephant ate fish and then took a dump, maybe, yeah, now we're probably getting closer. But anyway, thanks for Appius and Reptile King sending this in. These guys are two awesome viewers. They actually each run their own channel too if you want to go take a look at them. But they're trying to get a channel started. But they're awesome viewers. They're always there on my streams and stuff. And they had sent this to me, and I did want to see it. And it was pretty hilarious to see Mazdamundi clean up that many kills. Again, these guys made the situation where it was going to be easy for them to do it. But, you know, that's part of the fun, I think, of these big battles. Like I said, sometimes people forget, like, oh, well, we're going to just noob box here. Well, they forget about vortex spells and other stuff. That's one of the reasons why I really like Warhammer is that depending on the pick of the armies and the spells and all this other stuff, there can be some layers of strategy that can come in that can make it really fun. Because in past Total Wars, a big noob box like that would have been boring. It would have been hard to break into because you'd sit back and you get shot up and there's no way to get through it. On this game, it's completely different, right? The noob box can sometimes be a good idea. Sometimes it's a terrible idea. And so I think that's kind of the fun that Warhammer adds into this and why you should get out there and try some of these big battles. So if you all have any big battles that you think were fun where you did like a themed battle, that's another thing I like about big battles. You can go do a theme battle. Like you can pick like a lore-friendly matchup or a lore battle that you want to replay. Same thing you could do on old historical Total Wars where you tried to recreate historical battles. So get out there, play some 2v2s. Enjoy the 2v2s. They're a lot of fun. You definitely should get out and tinker with them. There's a lot of cool maps. Like I said, a lot of cool matchups. You can do up to 4v4. It's really fun. So get out there and play some. If you have some good replays, feel free to send it to me. Or if you're one of those players that just likes the high-level 1v1, if you got some of those replay, happy to see that too. I like it all. But I always get comments for people wondering, like, well, why'd you show that? They made mistakes. Well, because a lot of times for me, it's more about, does it provide some entertainment value? And in that case, yes. I enjoyed that. So thanks, Appius. Thanks, Reptile King. Appreciate you sending it in, and appreciate the other two players helping to make that a fun match. Showing what kind of fun you can have if you just get out there and play some Total War Warhammer 2 multiplayer. Anyway, HeirofCarthage signing out for now. I'll be back with some more Total War Warhammer battles soon.